He's the slick talking, drive walking, the only morning host shows banana eating, the shostest with the mostest, organic bananas. It's Adam Josh.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Morning Banana Show. My name is Adam Josh, and this is an organic banana, not from Madeira, most likely. I am here in Niagara Falls, Canada. This episode of the Morning Banana Show, number 228, is being filmed in front of a live studio ostrich because we're in a hotel on our honeymoon, as many people think. Yeah, so clearly there's a lot to catch up on, and I have a lot of footage in my camera roll that I'm going to be kind of splicing into this Morning Banana Show. So if you're interested in juicy gossip and what's going on in the life and times of Adam Josh, this 228 is for you. Maybe I've been teasing it a bit, but hey, there are French presses in Canada, and this, I have to say, is a little bit beefier than the one I got from IKEA in Portugal. I also had one of these in Canada previously, but it was, I think, also from IKEA. So this one is not from IKEA. It is from the Superstore, and as you can see, it's a little bit beefier. We got some coffee in there, and I'm gonna fill it up. And something I have not had in a really long time, I got that silk almond creamer, and I found that because I haven't had it in so long and I've been making do with what I could do with, I wound up realizing that this is really potent. They add sea salt, and I've had enough sea salt for the last 2 years, to be honest, but it's like it has a warning on it, contains almond, and the fun part is that the ingredients are in English and in French, so 2 languages that I can read. I got so good with Portuguese that I could read. We were reading the ingredients when it said Portuguese or Espanol. We would read them in Portuguese. So what I was getting at here is that it's really potent and it really tastes like vanilla. So yesterday I put too much in. I don't have a frother yet, although I have frothers here. I just haven't picked one up yet. So normally what I would do is like heat this up and then froth it. So anyway, like I said, I put too much yesterday, so I'm going to go a little bit easy. But yeah, the coffee situation here is not like Portugal, I'll tell you that. And we've been having to figure things out and do workarounds because Canadians and coffee are they're not like the Portuguese and coffee. Yeah, so it's not frothed, and it's good dark roast coffee, but it's yeah, I don't know if I can drink the vanilla creamer anymore, honestly. I got so used to 2 years without it, making do with what I had. But the vanilla is like potent. I think the banana is from Colombia. They're okay as long as like they're organic. I feel like, and from a tropical place where that makes bananas, I feel like we're okay. My pet peeve is bananas that have no flavor. This orange that I have that we're going to be eating on the Morning Banana Show is actually from Portugal. We snuck it on the plane. I'm going to offer some to the live studio ostriches here. Yeah, seems that we had to look up ostrich noises. We stand with the ostrich farm in BC, by the by. Whatever that means. I'm not sure if they're still alive or not, but I know that when the RCMP and the government of Canada decides to crack down on you for some reason, good luck. So I hope those ostriches have a horseshoe somewhere. It's not funny. It's not funny. People are taking it very seriously. Yeah, I'm saying I don't know if some of them. I don't know if they're alive or not. I mean that. I don't know. I haven't checked lately. So we decided to come back to Canada, and here we are. We took a plane ride with Air Transat, and we did not get a vegan meal on Air Transat. That's okay. We wanted to call, but the 1-800 number was in America, so we were trying to call America from Portugal, which, you know, you're standing on waiting for like 40 minutes before anybody answers. That doesn't really work. And we landed in Toronto. Probably the smoothest 8-hour international overseas flight I've ever had. And the kids enjoyed it. Desiree enjoyed it. I watched 3 movies and had some food, and then we landed, basically. I watched Yes Man. I watched Dark Adam. And Matrix Resurrections. And by the time all that was done, the plane had taken off and landed. So I think that's a pretty good travel experience. We landed in Toronto, and we had a mile-long list of things that we wanted to immediately do when we landed before the tiredness set in. The jet lag is actually working in our favor this way because there's at the time when we landed, there was a 6-hour difference, but now with all the fall back time changes, we have a 5-hour difference. So it is morning here. I think the time is, what is the time? What does the time that clock say? 8:30. It's 8:30 a.m. So for us, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. It's 1 p.m. So like I'm saying, that works in our favor when we're trying to get our kids geared up to get back in school. We've got our younger one enrolled back in school, and we'll try to find a high school here for the older one. You don't have to do what I did, Kanan. Although, you know, there's good high schools here. We landed in Toronto, and I think the first thing that we all thought was, let's go to La Vegan Ethiopian restaurant. We love Ethiopian food, and we miss them. I mean, there's some restaurants that when you're in the other side of the world, you talk about, and some you don't, right? Some you talk about for good reasons, some you talk about for bad reasons. We all missed La Vegan Ethiopian restaurant for all the right reasons. Do you guys want some of this orange?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you grab it? Want all of it?
Don't drink too much, you guys.
Take both pieces. Enjoy it. Thank you. Gotta feed the ostriches. The live studio ostrich.
Don't riot. If you lose, don't riot. And we're just gonna leave the city now and let you guys have fun with your baseball games.
So La Vegan Ethiopian food knew we were coming, and we stayed there for a while. We met some friends from Toronto and some friends from Niagara. We had our bridesmaid pick us up from the recent wedding that we had, and we had a lot of luggage, so it wasn't just our bridesmaid but somebody else from our wedding party. Of course, we had a lot of luggage, so we needed the vehicle space to be able to take all of the luggage, and somehow it all worked out that we walked out of the arrivals and both of them had their cars basically there, ready to receive the endless luggage we had. They called it Operation Besties from Portugal Retrieval or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
Bring Bessie home.
So next we went to Kelly's Bake Shop. I'm pretty sure that was the next thing we did. Shout out Kelly's. You know, obviously we love Kelly's Bake Shop. I don't think we all found it super sweet, but it is very sweet, and so this is the reason that we can't go to Kelly's Bake Shop that often. Although we love Kelly, we love Aaron, Mike, we love all the folks there, and we love the food. But eating sweets, you know, on the regular is difficult for us when we don't actually eat that much sugar. We find it sweet. So, some things that I've noticed in Canada, you know, they're a bit different now. We've been gone for a while. A lot has changed in 2 years. I guess you could say some things change, some things stay the same. Can I get one of my studio ostriches to grab me the new quarter? Thank you. No rush. I was excited to get the whole rainbow of colors from the bank. Thank you, sir. Whoa. Thank you, ostrich. So I noticed on the new quarters, we have, I'm not sure the camera's going to be able to pick that up, but maybe I got the light. If I got the light right there, we can zoom in there. There we go. That's King Charles's face on the quarter. And in your life as a Canadian or as a citizen of any of the colonies of the British monarchy, you'll see this in your life a few times because, you know, when a monarch passes away, there's a new one. And then you have this moment where you see a new person's face on your money that you recognize because this happened in your life, in your lifetime. So in my lifetime, we've had, what was it, Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth, and now King Charles, right, on the currency. So I can remember a few different times when the royals have changed, and it's a trip every time because you look at it, you're like, well, that's different. I know that guy. You have some history, you know, you feel like you know him. That's the craziness of the royal family. Yeah, so, you know, we were at the embassy. And we saw the Embassy of Canada in Portugal has a picture of King Charles and then the Governor General and then the current Prime Minister. And so, yeah, again, since we left Canada, we have a new Prime Minister now, Mark Carney. And honestly speaking, one of the reasons that we left Canada, as you may or may not know or understand, is because of like the response here to the pandemic and all the drama around all that. So we understand that the Liberal government is still in power. So I'm just kind of checked out of the politics right now. And so I don't really know anything about Mark Carney. I feel like the Liberal government showed us everything we needed to know about the Liberal government. And I don't know anything about Mark Carney to say anything negative or positive, although I'm sure Justin Trudeau is moving on, right? He's, what is he doing nowadays? He's riding on that dark horse. Is that Katy Perry's song? My head is riding on this dark horse, baby. My head, is that?
I don't listen to Katy Perry.
Katy Perry. I don't know a Katy Perry song, I don't think. Anyway, so Justin's moving on, clearly, without his family. Wait, we're making new families, all right? We're making new families. Justin Trudeau's mentality. Yeah, so... So far, we've been excited to be back. Obviously, there's a temperature change. We feel like Portuguese people now, and we're suffering from extreme vitamin D deficiency. We're actually going to get a vitamin D supplement because you kind of get used to the 300 days of sunshine. Although in the rainy season in Portugal, it starts getting that chemtrail overcast stuff that we're kind of used to in Niagara on the daily. But generally speaking, there's more sun to be had in Portugal. So right now, other than trying to get our kids in school. One's enrolled and the other one will work on. Other than that, Desiree is considering going back to getting a retail job, because we realized while she was in Portugal that she loves interfacing with people, and she loves girly time, her friend time. She loves face-to-face, in contact sales jobs. And some people can do the remote off-grid thing, and some people can't. I think another thing that Desiree realized, which is no secret to anybody who watches the Morning Banana Show, is she realized after 2 years she's not really an off-grid girl. And the off-grid life, as you may have heard me say before, chose us. We didn't exactly choose it. I always had in my mind to like plan to get off-grid, or like supplement or have a backup. And then we had this amazing opportunity that was presented to us in Portugal. Here's a almost perfectly ready set up farm that all you have to do is like some subtle tweaks and you can live off grid. I was like, I can do all the tweaking. Let's do it. And so, to everyone's credit, and all the live studio Ostriches credit,
You can do all the tweaking.
I can do all the tweaking. I'm from Niagara. I can do all the tweaking. To everyone's credit, we did it for 2 years. So there's no one in this studio, in this room here, that can't say they haven't lived off grid. We've all lived off grid now. So when these kids go back to school and they're talking about solar panels and off grid living, our kids are just going to be like, bro, you want to talk about collecting gray water? Let's go. You want to talk about solar panels and wattage output? I know all about it. You want to talk about the difference between energy and exergy? Ho, ho, ho. I got you. My kids can talk about that stuff now with confidence.
I'm an ostrich.
And people, what we've learned, another thing that I can just drop on you guys real quick before I end the show, is we've learned that the grass is always greener syndrome that people have extends to regions, extends to people in different sides of the world. In Portugal, the locals in the Algarve, the locals in Portugal, everywhere that we were, romanticized the idea of snow. Now, being from Canada, especially from Niagara, or like the East Coast where it gets to minus 20, minus 30, nobody's romanticizing the idea of freezing, freezing to death, or like sliding over ice in their car. Nobody romanticizes that. Or their roof collapsing because there's too much weight of snow on it. Nobody romanticizes that. Or slipping, or grandma slipping on the front porch on ice and breaking her tailbone. Nobody romanticizes that. But in Portugal, because they don't know these realities of snow, they watch the movies and they're like, wow, wouldn't it be great to snow here? The cab driver that we had talked about, it snowed once 40 years ago in the Algarve. So it hasn't snowed there in 40 years, and when it did snow, it probably was like briefly in crystal form and then hit the ground and then melted again, because it's just too hot in the Algarve. It's a Mediterranean climate near the equator. And so here in Niagara, where we have plenty of cold and plenty of snow, people romanticize heat and getting more sun, and I'm one of them. I want the sun. I want to be warm. I don't like shoveling snow. It's no secret. I don't like the harsh winters, and anyone who's grown up in Canada would probably agree with me, like, hey, we could all use a little bit more sun. So I'm totally one of those, the grass is greener, let's go find out what it's like to actually be hot. One thing they don't tell you is, like, when you get to Portugal and you're there for the heat, you want the heat, the heat comes with its own drawbacks as well. So what I'm saying is that there are problems everywhere. Nobody would have ever convinced me that you could have such a thing as a heat-induced panic attack until I saw it with my own eyes. And then researched it afterwards and found, whoa, people actually have heat-induced panic attacks. Another thing that we noticed in Portugal, obviously, was all the mold, which we've talked about before. But there's endless mold in Portugal. New construction, old construction, retail malls, outlet malls, indoor malls, outdoor malls, underground buildings, underground parking, overground parking. Anywhere you can look, there is mold. And it's not exactly a selling feature for the Iberian Peninsula to be covered in mold, but it's the perfect temperatures for mold and mold spores. So a lot of people have that mold cough and have that pale face because their lungs and their respiratory system is constantly dealing with and processing mold. And being somebody who's from somewhere else, you kind of can see it right away. Oh, wow, what's wrong with you? Are you sick? And then you see the mold, you see little children coughing all the time. Nothing to do with the pandemic, nothing to do with coronavirus, nothing to do with being sick. It's just they are suffering from mold exposure constantly. And mold toxicity can kill you. I mean, literally. So if you're living in black spore mold, or like, you know, this is a real problem to live in mold. There's mold in Germany, there's mold in Spain, there's mold in France, there's mold in Canada too, but it's a little bit more controlled and taken care of. With all that being said, I have finished my banana. I've caught you guys up on the Morning Banana Show number 228. If you like to support me, you can order a t-shirt from my Shopify link if you'd like to help pay for the plane tickets and La Vegan Restaurant. You can send me an e-transfer to adam@adamjosh.com. You could also buy me a coffee. These things here, these French press here, this one was, I think, 15 Canadian dollars. I'm back to spending Canadian dollars instead of spending euros, so everything is kind of half price for me right now. The gas here is, I think I paid $1.30 a liter Canadian, which is roughly 80 cents in euros per liter, so that's bananas. I was showing my friends in Portugal what we're paying for gas here. For some reason in Portugal, you're basically paying double for fuel. A lot of confusing things in Portugal, a lot of confusing things here. We're learning about the recent tariff impositions here. We're learning about like why there are Canadian flags now everywhere and why everything is like buy local. This is something that we're like adopting new information and learning about here. But yeah, if you guys want to support me, and support the channel and the mission of what we're up to here, you can buy me a coffee, you can send an e-transfer, and I will greatly appreciate that. So thank you very much. You can follow me on X @adamjosh.com. You can follow me on Instagram now. I am posting this video and workout post information on Instagram. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourselves and have a great day. Bye.
Are you tired of reincarnating? Me too. Now show the world that you don't want to reincarnate with this Do Not Reincarnate t-shirt.
Spread the word. We're not coming back.